Hey guys, this is Mr. C, and in this lesson we're going to look at the order of operations and how to use it. So let's start out with this little graphic organizer here. The order of operations is basically a method of simplifying expressions so that we all get the same answer, and mainly numerical expressions. So we all need to get the same answer, and if we don't follow these rules here, then we could possibly get a bunch of different answers. And in math, we don't like a bunch of different answers. We like one answer. We all have to agree. So you have PEMDAS, PEMDAS. And so a lot of teachers will teach this, and this is usually the way that you start out when you learn order of operations. The P stands for parentheses. Parentheses, you're going to do parentheses first. You're going to work with parentheses first. The E stands for exponents. That's an N right there. You're next going to do exponents. Now, there are going to be times where you have to do exponents before parentheses, and that will come up sometimes. So when we get to those problems, we'll talk about that. But parentheses and exponents are generally done first. Then you have M, multiplication, and D is division. And that's going in your expression from left to right. So whichever one you come to first, you do that. And why is that? So why is multiplication really the same thing as division? And here's the reason why. So these two I kind of have to group together like this. Okay, the reason why is because, I'll give you an argument here. 6 divided by 3, we all know is equal to 2, right? But we can also take that 6 and multiply it by 1/3, and we still get 2. So we really see that division and multiplication are the exact same operation, except with the division, you just put the numerator over the denominator, and over here, you're basically multiplying by a fraction. So if you multiply by a fraction, you're dividing really. So these two are kind of the same. And then you come to the last two, and that's going to be A is addition, and S is subtraction. And for this one, you're going to do these left to right as you get to them. And that's the last thing you do. So addition and subtraction are the same operation, because if you take 4 minus 3, we all know that that's equal to 1. However, if you take 4 plus a negative 3, that's still equal to 1. And we see that subtraction is really the same thing as addition, you're just adding a negative number. So we have to consider these two operations to be almost identical operations, same way we did with these two. All right, so now that we know the order of operations, we can go ahead and start simplifying some expressions. So here's our first one. Our first one is 1 plus 2 minus 3 times 4 divided by 2. We don't want to put any of these in our calculator like that and just let the calculator do it. We want to go ahead and use the order of operations. So we do have parentheses, and it is the 4 is being multiplied by the 3, so we probably want to do that first. So we got 1 plus 2 minus 4 times 3 is 12 divided by 2. Now that is also multiplication also. So left to right, you want to do multiplication and division first. Well, we did do the multiplication, and I said parentheses, but really that's multiplication going on right there. So we did it correctly. And now left to right, addition, subtraction, division, we're going to have to do the division first. So 1 plus 2 minus 12 divided by 2 is 6. All right. Now we have addition and subtraction. So again, these two operations are really the same thing. So left to right, we're going to do the addition first. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 3 take away 6 should be negative 3. And that's our final answer. All right, let's see what the next one looks like. This time, We have 9 plus 6 divided by 2 plus 1. All right, no parentheses, no exponents. So we're going to do the division first because of the order of operations. And so we have 9 and then plus 6 divided by 2 is 3 plus 1. Left to right, we'll do the addition first. 9 plus 3 is going to be 12 plus 1. And then 12 plus 1 is 13. So that one really wasn't too bad. Let's try this example here. Okay, this one says we have some parentheses and we've got some stuff inside, so we definitely have to work with this first. So we have to really wait on this 5 plus 3 here. Do not do that first. Okay, in the parentheses, skip this, we need to go to the division. So 2 minus 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay. Now we still have to wait on this because we're not done with parentheses. So 5 plus 3 times 2 take away 6 is -4. All right. Now we do this multiplication. -4 times 3 is -12. So 5 minus 12. And then finally 5 minus 12 is -7. All right, so that one wasn't too bad. Let's take a look at this one. This one has a lot of stuff with it, so let's see if I can fit this all in here. We got all of this divided by 16. So here you have some brackets. Brackets and parentheses are the same thing. They're grouping symbols. I could have used parentheses if I wanted to, but I didn't. I used brackets, that's fine. Let's go ahead and do the 5 minus 3. So bracket 4 times, see 5 minus 3 is 2. Now this is all separate from this, so I can actually do this next. Minus 2 times 4 take away 8 is -4. Then close up your bracket, divided by 16. All right, that's a pretty good first step. I'm gonna arrow over now. Okay, now inside my parentheses, inside my brackets really, 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 2 times -4 is -8. So minus -8. Close up my brackets. Still divided by 16. So it's getting smaller. Okay, let's go down here. 8 take away -8. Now remember, when two negatives are side by side, they make a positive. So we really have 8 plus 8. And I could really just use parentheses right now if I want to, but I'm keeping the brackets, it doesn't matter. Divided by 16. Next step, inside the grouping symbols, 8 plus 8 is 16. Now notice how I switched from brackets to parentheses? That's fine, you can do that whenever you want. You have 16 divided by 16, and that's going to turn out to be 1. When you get a lot of work on your paper like this, one way to help your teacher out is to take your answer and either circle it, or I prefer boxing it in. Box in your answer so your teacher can go right to it and there won't be a problem with them trying to hunt around to find it. All right, here's our next one. Okay, this time I've got a numerator and denominator. It's a fraction, so I still need to do parentheses first. So now I have 13 take away 37. So that should give me a -24 if I'm not mistaken. So I've got -8 times, and that's going to be -24 over 6. Okay, so a couple things we can do here. We can actually multiply that out if we want to. And so if you take 24 and you multiply that by 8, you're going to get 192. So if we take this times -8, -8 times -24, negative times negative is positive, so I'm going to get 192 over 6. Now if I take that number and divide it by 6, sometimes it'll divide and sometimes it won't. And it actually does this time, it divides evenly, and I get 32, and I'll go ahead and box that in like that. All right. Here's our next example. Okay, this one's got a little bit more stuff to it, so we'll have to kind of see what this one looks like. All right, so this time we have, let's see, 3 times 5 minus 128 divided by 2 squared, and then times 5. Okay, so how is this one going to work out for us? Well, let's take a look and see. All right, inside the brackets here, I should really do the exponents first, right? So I'm going to be honest with you. I can go ahead and I can get away with doing this 3 times 5 right here because these two don't affect each other. This part and this part are separate. So I could do the 15 right here and still be okay. Minus 128, got to keep that, divided by 2 squared is 4. And all of that is still times 5. All right, so our next step then, now I'm going to have to do that division. So I need 128 and I need to divide that by 4. And I'm going to get 15 minus, and that should be 32. And all of that is going to be times 5. All right, let's go down here now. Okay, so now we have 15 take away 32, and that should be a negative 17. And notice how I went from brackets to parentheses. That's fine, you can do that. I do that all the time. Still times 5. I'm actually going to put that 5 in parentheses too, because I don't like it sitting outside on the right-hand side. It's just something weird about that. And if I take negative 17 and multiply it by 5, I get negative 85. And that should be my answer for that one. Just like that. All right, let's look at a couple more here. Okay, this time, I've got parentheses I need to take care of. So, really tempted to do this 4 minus 4, but I can't. I have to do the 4 divided by 2 first. So, 4 minus, okay, 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus 1, squared, plus, is it going to really hurt me to do this 3 times 2? No, I can do that right now also. 3 times 2 is 6, because these two parts are separated. All right, let's keep going inside the parentheses. 4 take away 2 is 2, plus 1, squared. Can't really do anything with that plus 6 yet. I got to hang on to that. So now let's go down again. 2 plus 1 is 3, squared, plus 6. I could have probably gotten away with not putting parentheses around that 3, but I'm in the habit of doing that. And so my habit is to just go ahead and put parentheses around it. It's fine. If it was negative, you definitely would want parentheses around it. Okay, 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 6 should give us 15. And that's our final answer for that one. Just like that. All right, let's look at this one. Okay, so this time we got parentheses. So 6 times 3 take away 4 is negative 1, squared, divided by 3, plus 3. Really tempting to work with these, but I really can't yet because you're dividing, and you definitely don't want to add these together. Not yet anyway. Okay, so now parentheses and exponents. Negative 1 squared is 1. Again, I just have to say divided by 3 plus 3. Okay, 6 times 1 is itself. And that's 6 divided by 3 plus 3. Okay, now I have this division that I have to do before the addition. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And finally, 2 plus 3 is 5. And so that should be the correct answer for that one. Okay, we have another one here, this one. Parentheses first. So we have 10 minus 4 times. Really tempting to do 6 minus 2, but you can't. You have to do this. 6 minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then that's it. Next step. Again, really tempting to do 10 minus 4, but you can't. 10 minus 4 times. 6 take away 1 is 5. Okay, next step. I can do that over here. 10 minus, got to do multiplication next. 5 times 4 is 20. So now I have 10 take away 20. And that should give me a negative 10 is my final answer for that. And we'll box that on in. Okay, so this one right here. All right, here we have some brackets, so we need to work in here, and we have parentheses in the brackets, so we actually have to work in this guy first. So 12 divided by bracket, okay, parenthesis, 6 plus, and we have to do 3 times 3 first for 9. Parenthesis, divided by 5, bracket. Okay, next step, still working in here. 9 and 6 is 15. So 12 divided by bracket. And since it's positive, I can really just drop the parentheses and just write 15 divided by 5. Okay, so now I do have division going on here in both places, but I have to work again inside the brackets, the grouping symbols first. So my next step is 12 divided by 15 divided by 5 is 3. Now, I don't need any more brackets here because it popped out and it was positive, so I'm good there. And then finally, 12 divided by 3 is 4. And that's my final answer for that one. Okay, last example. This time, we've got 2 parentheses here, so let's just work with this one first. Let's see, 7 times 3 would come first, right? That's 21 minus 3 divided by, okay, over here, I'm going to do the subtraction before the addition. Remember, they're really the same operation anyway. 5 minus 5 is 0 plus 6. Okay, so now, let's see what we got. 21 take away 3 is 18. It's positive, so I can just leave it like that. Divided by 0 plus 6 is 6. That's your additive identity. And then finally, 18 divided by 6 is 3. And so we got a nice number at the end. And so that is the order of operations, a bunch of examples. Remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you guys later. Bye.